Hey guys and girls, so welcome to part 3, and in this video we're going to carry on from where we left off. So in part 1 we created a database, part 2 we created our first table, so now we're going to insert something into the database table to make sure it all works. So we're going to use a user, create a user and put that into our table. So we're going to use the cursor.execute. Okay, and so we're going to have, it's going to be, we're going to do insert into. So we're telling it to insert into the table, and we want it to do, we'll create a user. So we do user, and then we're going to open another set of brackets, and we're going to have a username. Comma, and then first name, comma, surname, comma, password. Funny thing is, when I showed this to some of my students in the quite a young year group, and that some of them didn't know what a surname was. So obviously that's your second name. So obviously if you're Bob Smith, then Smith would be your surname. So password, that's fine, and then we're going to have values, and we will do so I have a test user, which is going to be the username, and his first name is going to be Bill. Smith. Let's do Smith. Always lots of Smiths. If you're watching and your surname's Smith, give us a comment below. Okay, and we'll do a password of, let's go for the worst password you could think of, which is password. Don't use that as your password. And close our bracket. And that's fine. Now, there is one other thing we need to add to this, otherwise it won't save. And that's what we have to do, is we have to say db for our database, and we're going to do .commit. If we don't have that, it won't work. And you know what? I'm actually gonna move the db.commit onto a new line, like so. Otherwise, I think it might bug out. So let's run this, and that's fine. That's run. So what we can do is we can check to make sure that's been entered into the database. Okay, so we're going to open the users database, users.db, and yeah, so we can see here we've got surname, password, test user, Bill Smith, password, test user, blah, blah, blah. So that's all fine. Go back to presentation mode. Okay, so so just to recap, we've used the cursor.execute to insert into the database, and what we're inserting in is essentially a users into the table. We're putting a users field, and then we're giving we've got some field names of username, first name, surname, and password, and then we're passing in values of a test user. So that is the username. First name is Bill, the surname is Smith, and the password has been set to password. We've seen that by using the db.commit, that writes it to the table in the database, and essentially what that does is, if we didn't have that line there, it would not save. So what we're going to do in the next video is simply extract the data using SQL commands. We're going to create our first query essentially and manipulate the data using Python. So do like, subscribe, share and comment, and join us next time.